Start now. So, hello everyone, welcome back to our reading class. Today we have a new story we're going to read. Let's see if we are able to understand and read all these words. May the best prankster win. May the best prankster win. Now, if someone does a prank on you, what does it mean? They're making a joke. They're either maybe doing something funny that you didn't expect. But yeah, a prank is usually something someone does to you. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. But yeah, let's read here. I'll read it first, and then I want all of us to join in and read after me. So in the beginning, we have a couple of words here. Let's first read them. Prank, squeaky, shampoo, ladle, raisins, alphabet. Okay, I want you guys to read as well. Start with the first one. Prank. Everyone together, yeah? Everyone together, all together. First one is prank.
Prank.
No.
Yes, prank.
No is yes.
And the second one, squeaky. Squeaky.
Squeaky. Squeaky.
Squeaky. We get those rubber toys that if you press it, it goes beep, 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 beep. Now that is called a squeaky sound. Shampoo. Shampoo. Come everyone, all together here, all together. Shampoo. Are we going to have anyone that wants to participate? We can do this all together, or we can just make it very simple and we just give it for everyone to do on their own, to read on their own and answer the questions on their own. Let's all work together. Last class, if you work all together, we can finish faster. So let's read all together and practice some pronunciation. It's very good for us because we're learning new English words. And we also learn how to pronounce them better. And also get the opportunity to read and learn about a new story. Okay. So the first word, let's start from the top. First word, prank.
Prank.
Squeaky.
Squeaky.
Yes, squeaky. Shampoo.
Shampoo.
Ladle.
Ladle.
It is a spoon. A ladle is a spoon. These big iron spoons with the long iron handle. Those are called ladles. They use that in soups. Raisins.
Raisin.
The last one is alphabet.
Alphabet.
Okay, so may the best prankster win. Let me read the first page, then you can read it. So let's start here. When Perla found out she would be spending a few days at her grandparents' house, she squealed with excitement. Her grandpa was a real prankster. For several years, they had been in an intense prank war. As soon as she arrived, Perla began plotting her first prank. The next morning, Grandpa sat down to eat his breakfast of raisin bran and orange juice as usual. When he went to take a bite, however, he noticed that his regular spoon has been replaced by a giant ladle. Even worse, all the raisins had disappeared from his cereal. Who took my raisins? Grandpa bellowed. We looked around and saw Perla hiding a few feet away. Pretending to be upset, he began to chase her around the house. After he caught her, he held her upside down over the table as she giggled. He pried the raisins from her fingers one by one until her palms were empty and the bowl was full. Then he sat down and ate his cereal using the big ladle. Pranking him. She pranked her grandfather. Okay, now I want us all to read together. Let's all read together. From When Perla Found.
When Perla found out she would be spending a few days at her grandparents' house, she
Squealed.
with
Squealed.
này là
Like squeal. Squealed.
squeal with
Excitement.
excitement. Her
Good.
grandpa was a real prankster. For several years, they had been in a intense prank war.
As soon as she
She allowed
as soon she arrived, Peria began fighting her
first prank.
The next morning, Grandpa sat down to eat his breakfast of
Raisin bran.
bread and orange juice as
Usual.
usual.
When he
went to take a bite, however, he
Noticed
noticed that his
breakfast
had been replaced by a giant with
ladle. Yes, very good, very good.
even was our order resident had
Separated from his cereal.
cereal ค่ะเดี๋ยวโอ้ไปไกล
Okay.
Who took my
raisin.
son?
Grandpa
Bellowed.
Below he looked around and saw
Perla hiding a few feet away, pretending to be upset. He began to chase her around the house. After he caught her, he held her upside down over the table as he
อะไรไม่รู้
He pried.
เป็นอะไรกันวะนี่
He pried.
อะไรต้องอยู่ตรงไหนวะ
Raisins.
Resin from her fingers
fingers
one by
one
one
by one
until her
until her
palms
palms
were empty and
empty
the bowl was full.
full.
Then
Then
he
he
sat
sat
down and ate his
and
cereal using the big
ate
ladle.
Ladle.
Little. Little.
Yes, very good. Let me read this page, then you can read after me. Good. Later that night, Perla found her favorite doll wrapped up in toilet paper. It was sitting on her bed next to a sign that read, I want my mommy. A mummy is a dead person that they wrap in cloth. It looks like something wrapped in toilet paper, a mummy. The next morning, Grandpa found plastic ants in his shampoo when he went to wash his hair. That same day after dinner, Perla went to pour a glass of milk and jumped back in shock when it came out green. Grandpa stood smiling a few feet away. He was holding a box of food coloring in his hand. Several hours later, Perla woke up in the middle of the night to a loud squeal. She looked around, startled by the noise. Her heart was pounding hard. After a moment, though, she realized what had happened. Grandpa had placed a squeaky dog toy under her pillow. Perla spent the next day trying to think of the perfect final prank. She would be leaving the next morning and needed something good. Finally, she had an idea. Okay, from the top, everyone again. Doing good, we're doing good. Later that night,
Perla found her favorite doll wrapped in toilet paper. It was sitting
It
on her
was sitting on her bed next
bed
to scene
that
that
read,
read, I want my mommy.
My mommy. The need
The next morning, Grandpa found plastic
and in
and
and in his shampoo.
when
When
he
he want to wash
went to wash
had
his
the
hair.
hair. There's
That
someday
someday after dinner,
after
Perla
dinner Gloria went to
to
pour
pour
a
a
glass
glass of
of
milk
milk and
and
dumped
jump it back
in
in
in chocolate
chocolate
when
form
Grandpa
of
our green grandpa
Grandpa's
soon
you
swimming
swimming a few
a few feet away. He was holding a
holding a
box of
of
food
food
coloring
coloring
in
in his
his
hand.
and
Several
several
later,
hours later,
several later,
later, Perla
woke
woke up
up in
in
the
the
middle of
middle
the
of
night to
trying to
rouse,
loud
squeal,
when
squeal.
scream.
Yes,
She
very good.
looked
she looked around,
around,
started
surrounded
started
by
by
the
the
noise.
nose.
Her
Her hand
heart was
was pounding,
beating
pudding
hard
hard.
after a moment.
After moment, touch,
But
she
she
was had
parents
paid. Grandpa had
grandpa with us
squeaky dog
squeaky dog
toy
toy
under
under
her
the pillow.
pillow. The next day, trying
I to think of the
perfect final patch
of
pack
he would
pack
with the morning needed something to
was generally
finally she had
And
an
I
an
idea.
idea.
like this light bulb. Okay, let me read the next page. I think this is the last
โอ้โห
page.
ยังมี
Okay, we have one more page.
โอ้ยังมี
Then we look at the questions.
ทำให้หมด
Okay.
ดีกว่า
She went to the closet
She
where her
went-
old toys were kept and began digging. She pulled out several dolls and dressed up clothes before she found what she was looking for. It was a toy keyboard that sounded out the letters of the alphabet when you pressed on them. Smiling, she put it under Grandpa's pillow. The next morning at breakfast, she asked Grandpa how he had slept. She smiled innocently. Grandpa scowled, pretending to pout. He continued to eat his raisin bran, full of raisins this time, in silence. Anxious to hear if her prank had worked, Perla turned to her new grandmother. Grandma, how did he sleep? Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Grandpa hollered from the other side of the room. He woke up at 2 a.m. singing the ABCs. That's quite a funny joke. Okay, from the top, she went to the closet.
She went to the process where her old toy were kept and
and begin she pulled out
the wall and
and dress up
both
before she saw what she was looking for. It was a toy
of
board that showed out the letter of when you visit on them. Smiling, she put up under Grandpa.
Grandpa, you
Hello.
the next
The
morning
next morning
at breakfast, she asked
He
Grandpa
asked Grandpa how
Ask Grandpa
how he had slept.
slept
She smiled innocently.
innocently.
Grandpa's
Grandpa
pretending
pretending to
pretending to
Pout.
pout.
Pouting. If you pout, you do this with your lips.
เป้า
This is
เขา
pouting.
continue
You continued, yes.
to eat his rising bran
full
full of rising
of this
in
Silence.
silent,
silence.
Anxious.
anxious to hear
to
if
hear
her prank had worked.
Perla
Perla turned to her grandmother.
grandma
How did
how
he
did
sleep?
he sleep
Oh, you wouldn't believe it.
grandma
Grandma, how
Holler.
from
Holler.
over
on
the
the other
side
side
of the
of
room.
the room. He woke up as to an Iridium.
Singing
the
the ABC.
The ABCs.
Yes. Very good. Thank
and
you.
Iridium.
Thank you everyone for reading. Let's quickly look at some questions we have. Will we remember all those information. Let's see if we remember the information. True or false? Circle the right answer. If the story does not say the answer, circle X. Let's hear. Grandpa wrapped Perla's doll in toilet paper. Grandpa wrapped Perla's doll in toilet paper. Is it true, false, or not in the story?
I think I guess is for
False. Okay.
Yes.
We'll have a look at it. We'll have a look at it after we answered all of them. Perla cried whenever Grandpa played a prank on her. Perla cried when Grandpa pulled a prank on her.
I think is X.
X. Okay. X. We'll look at them all when we finished. Perla arrived at her grandparents' house on a Friday. Perla arrived at her grandparents' house on a Friday.
Friday night.
Who remembers on what day?
I think it's 2.
Think it's true. Okay. Let's look at the last one. Grandpa pretended to be mad about Perla's prank. So he pretended to be mad. What do we think?
I think it's ทูแน่นอนตูดแน่นอนไอ้ตูครับตู
True, yeah, okay. Okay, and then we have one question here. Multiple choice. What was Grandpa doing when he woke up at 2 a.m.? A. Dancing the Macarena. B.
ดังซิ่ง
Singing the
ไล่อามังกี้
Star-Spangled Banner. C. Reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. D. Singing the ABCs. A, B, C, or D. What was Grandpa doing when he woke up at 2 a.m.?
D.
D. Singing the ABCs. Okay, let's go have a look. Grandpa wrapped Perla's doll in toilet paper. Let's go back and see. It should be later that night, Perla found her
ของ
favorite
วัว
doll
มีลายจุด
wrapped in toilet paper. Who wrapped her doll in toilet paper? Grandpa. So this one is actually a true. It is true. Grandpa wrapped it
มัน
in
คือตู่เหรอ
toilet paper. Wrapped it in
มัน
toilet
คือตู่
paper.
เฉยเลย
It's okay. It's a lot of information. We won't get all of them correct all the times. Number 2 here was Perla cried whenever Grandpa played a prank on her. Let's go back and read a little bit. When Perla found out she would be spending a few days at her grandparents' house, she squealed with excitement. Her and her grandpa was a real prankster. For several years, they had been in an intense prank war. As soon as she arrived, Perla began plotting her first prank. The next morning, Grandpa sat down to eat breakfast of raisin bran and orange juice as usual. When he went to take a bite, however, he noticed that his regular spoon had been replaced by a giant ladle. And even worse, all the raisins had disappeared from his cereal. Who took my raisins? Grandpa bellowed. he asked, he looked around and saw Perla hiding a few feet away. Pretending to be upset, he began to chase her around the house. After he caught her, he held her upside down over the table as she giggled. He pried the raisins from her fingers one by one until her palms were completely empty and the bowl was full. Then he sat down and ate his cereal using the giant ladle. Where was that? Okay, this we read now. The next morning, Grandpa found plastic ants in his shampoo. Okay, so they just talk about it. So they do not mention anything about Perla crying. There's no mention about Perla crying. So this one is correct. Okay, this one is correct. What about this one? True, false, or not in the story? We said true. Let's go look. Let's go have a look. So they talked here about she will be spending a couple of days at her grandparents, but they just said as soon as she arrived. So they don't say anything about a Friday. So this one is false. Almost got it. It's false. Okay. Very close there, very close. It's good. And the last one, Grandpa pretended to be mad about Perla's pranks. Yes. Grandpa pretended to be mad at her pranks. Why? Just because they like to prank each other. So to pretend to be mad is also a prank in that regard. Okay. So that is our short story for today. I hope you guys enjoy a little bit of the story. It's quite fun to sometimes play some pranks on each other, but we should also be careful that we don't take our pranks too far, and it might not be funny anymore, but it might be mean. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story, a nice short story. Thank you all for those who read with me. It makes it easier and a lot more fun if everyone participates, because then at least I can see that you maybe want to participate or want to learn something, and then it's always easier to teach someone that wants to learn. Okay. Anyone want to play rock, paper, scissors? I need to find my list of names. Let me quickly find.
I turn on my camera, so
You can write it in the chat. You can send your answer or your choice. You can send in the chat, and I will not look there. So you can send it there, and then we can see if you won. But you have to send your answer. If you want to send it in chat, you have to send it now, so that I know you don't send it afterwards when you look at what I chose. Are we ready? Are we excited?
I want answer fast.
Excuse me?
I was answering now.
Okay, answer there in the chat. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. Scissor.
I win.
Oh, I did one. And who said in chat? Who said here in chat? Rock. Oh, what is your nickname?
Who?
Pooh. You must change your name to Pooh. So it's Pooh and Aidin that won. Pooh and Aidin won. Teacher Pooh had a draw, and the other ones unlucky. Teacher bested you today, but it's good. It's good activities. remember we will be having a prize. I'll first make the list of the prize. So now we'll still practicing. So if you're getting good at it, you'll get a lot of points. Okay. I want you all to have a good day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See you next week.
See you this morning.
Joke.
Uh,